And we're back like a vertebrae for part 2 of Our Government is Stupid. Davey jumped in. I don't know if he hit end broadcast or if I did or what the fuck happened, but either way, here we are again.
It's funny.
Again.
I was like mid anchovy and spaghetti talk, and then it just went away. So I don't even know if the audience heard my response, but it was terrible. Like, who would eat spaghetti and anchovies?
Right?
It's like, who would do that?
So funny. All right. Yeah. So we are back up on Rumble. I can see us on there. So
Oh, are we?
Cool. Yeah.
All right. Sweet. Good.
So that really sucks because we were about to get in some good shit too, and we had people watching. So hopefully,
right,
they come back.
That's why I want to get back on Rumble. We were having like 15 watching at that, but yeah, but yeah, what? Goddamn, I can't remember what exact. Oh yeah, we were talking about what the fuck? The 15-minute city shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 15-minute city. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. With all that, the 10G stuff, that's a big time part of that because that comes with the WEF stuff, how they won all of that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So here, let me.
Because the more that they can do that, the more they can make the internet faster and all of this shit more convenient, the more that they will want you to stay in these areas because they're going to be like, oh, it's so convenient. You don't need to go outside of. We get all this delivery to you and everything else and just keep you in these fucking blocks. Get rid of all your gas cars, get rid of all that. And it also comes into like what you were talking about earlier, Bob, with fucking the control of electricity. Cut off your fucking stove, cut off your
whenever.
house, any of that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any smart shit in my house. I refuse to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I refuse
and that's why I brought this up because I was perusing the website a little bit because I want to look more into it. I don't know how credible it is or not, but I want to look into these different things that they say that they're in support of or supporting I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, so it talks about it's the future of because we were talking about the UN stuff and they have a summit of the future. And they said that we've partnered with the the Future Today Institute to develop scenarios, data-driven, plausible versions of what's to come that bring the 10G future to life. Now, it goes in different aspects like the future of entertainment, the future of healthcare, agriculture, and education.
Yeah, and look how 3 of them have a fucking face deal on for the VR shit. Like you're not even in reality anymore. You're Ready Player One.
Yep.
Exactly. So we were looking at the health one earlier, and it says in the future, wearables and smart sensors will enable protective and visible in-home care, while rural hospitals will connect to high-quality care via robots and holograms. And it says, keep scrolling to find out more. So you're talking about robots and holograms. So they're talking like in rural areas now, they won't have doctors. You'll just be like, oh, hi. I'm Princess Leia. I will be looking at you now. I don't know.
No. It's like how Tupac was doing his concerts as a hologram. Be like, give me a Tupac doctor. I want somebody dope if they're gonna be.
There you go,
man. Can you pick your avatar? Can I pick my skin? Like,
right?
Oh God,
that's crazy.
But so it says invisible care, abundant data, and connectivity will allow care to take place at a home. Wearables, smart home sensors, and personal smart devices will capture health and wellness data. Health data will be stored, monitored, and managed in the cloud. Patients will have access to all their data and control who can see it.
Bullshit. That's the main thing. That's what should scare you because of the fact that the people who are really seeing it is the fucking government and big pharma, all that shit, because they want to fucking keep you on stuff. That
and who's not to say that they're gonna... Yeah, well, because there's one part in this whole thing that Scott and I were laughing about earlier, because they have a section in here, and it's talking about it at your home, and I'm like, why the hell would you need all this stuff in your bathroom? It's like they're gonna check your poop and be like, oh, you need to have more fiber.
Right. Not going
Like-
regular.
Why do you have crabs?
Right.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're scrolling on Instagram and it's
Right.
like Metamucil ads are all over the place. And you're like, wait, hold on.
Yep,
This is
that
your
happens
toilet.
already, and I don't even know how it happens.
It's gonna be all of a sudden on your phone. This is your toilet.
Yeah.
You're not going regularly.
Yeah,
Right. And it's just like, oh, you don't know how to clean your house. Here, be a better homemaker.
Right.
Your
Here's a
toilet would
vacuum.
actually appreciate because it's a sentient being now if you used scrub and bubbles instead of Lysol.
'Cause it's a sentient being now.
Jesus
Like-
Christ.
No. And like, okay, so they're gonna have sensors in the bedroom. It's like, you're doing it wrong. Like,
Right.
oh, thanks. So now it's gonna give you performance advice.
Right.
Oh God,
That's fucked up. That's so
can't
weird.
fix size.
Why would anybody want that much shit inside of their house too? That just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me. I don't
Your
like
bed's just like-
people with like okay, I understand outdoor cameras, like ring cameras for outside, whatever else. If you want them,
Right.
okay, cool. But in your house, why would you put a fucking camera inside of your house too? And then putting more shit like this, I don't understand the obsession with wanting to be like listened to and watched, but people don't think of it that way whenever they put it in. But it's like you got to realize
Yeah.
you're going to get hacked. Like there's somebody who's seeing you right now. Whenever it comes, it's probably somebody watching us right now. Brian, FBI agent, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're probably watching right now,
I hope you had a good day, Bri.
right?
Fuck you, Brian.
yeah.
Let Donald Trump go. You prick.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, no, it's about like I remember hearing a story. It was the Nest camera story. There was a Nest camera inside someone's child's bedroom, and someone hacked into the Nest camera and started talking to the baby
Yeah.
through the Nest system.
I
And I was
remember
like,
hearing about that.
that's why when we had my second son, we got a closed system monitor.
Yeah.
So it's literally like there's no app. You can't get an app for it or anything like
No,
that.
it's
just,
actually short. It's a
from
radio wave. It's shortwave style.
Right.
Yeah. yeah. Because I'm just like, no, creepy,
Yeah.
creepy. Not doing that.
Yeah. Fuck all that.
Ugh. Do you want to know something else that's creepy?
Lay it on us, Jackie.
I'm the best at segues. I love it. And I'm so humble. It's ridiculous.
You're humble on Rumble. There you
I'm
go.
humble on Rumble.
You're humble on Rumble.
So, synthetic
Oh,
human
God.
embryos are created in a lab with no egg or sperm, and scientists announce historic breakthrough, raising hopes for new treatments for miscarriage and rare genetical. Okay, it's genetic, whatever disorders.
Right.
But development poses huge ethical dilemmas.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Fake-
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. It sounds like you're
Yeah.
literally creating something out of nothing.
Right.
Yeah. So it says here it was from the Cambridge University and California Institute of Technology. They had a joint project. It's a human embryo was made without an egg or a sperm. It has been created in a scientific breakthrough, which is bound to raise serious ethical and legal questions. This thing resembles an embryo or embryos in the earliest stage of human development. They don't have the beginning of the brain or heartbeat, but they do include cells that would go on to form a placenta and a yolk sac. Yeah.
I'm a 10-year-old. That's
Crazy.
hilarious.
Sac. I know what you're thinking. All right. But
Those
so the
scientists
ethical
can
question,
suck on this yolk sack. So
yeah. I guess for the purposes of this article, they're talking about like the ethical and legal
Right.
issues that they're coming across. Is because I believe and don't quote me on it or fact check me on it and just let me know if I'm right or not. And if I'm not, tell me the truth, tell me what's really going on if I'm mistaken. But it's my understanding that as of right now, if you're doing any type of lab work with embryos or any scientific studies with embryos or anything, you can only have it alive for 14 days.
Oh, I don't even know that.
No clue.
Yeah, it says until this breakthrough, scientists had to adhere to the I should have just read it. It's like right there.
Oh,
To the 14-day rule, which meant they were limited to allowing embryos to develop in the lab for a maximum of 2 weeks.
okay.
I just don't like the idea of scientists playing God.
I don't either at all.
No, I don't.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
to me, it just it's not natural.
Mm-mm.
No. I
Like
mean,
shit like that.
because
Well, that's what they start. Yeah, it's not natural at all. But that's whenever they start saying you're you're really trying to play God and start getting toward like some sort of weird singularity.
Right. And like, and you know, again, I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but what about like human condition? Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the brain forming, being able to think freely.
yeah.
Exactly.
Like when they go ahead and they create these embryos down the road and they ultimately, however, they're going to allow these things to grow down the road.
Right.
You know, are they going to create specific breeds, so to speak, of
Right.
people? Like, can someone just
Yeah.
go into a store and order a baby?
Pretty much.
Yes.
Like
That's-
That's CRISPR.
Mhm.
yeah, it's just it's there's so many. It's just wrong.
Well, yeah, exactly. And like, what kind of weird, no feeling having kind of fucking thing would you grow out of something like that? That's just, yeah, that's weird. I don't know.
Well, I would wonder, like, would they be like gingers? Would they have no soul?
Right?
It's
They
a
all-
serious question. That I
Jackie,
wanted
do
to
you
answer.
have a problem with gingers?
No, I don't actually.
Do you have beef?
My youngest, his hair is really blonde, but it's like a strawberry blonde in the sun. So
Right.
Okay.
I have a ginger.
fine.
That's
That's fun.
technically.
Now, is anybody on
And he's
your husband's side
difficult.
a ginger?
Well, I mean, there's Irish on both sides, so
Right. So it's bound to happen.
Mm-hmm.
it's bound to happen. Like my brother Matt,
Gotcha.
he's got red in his beard and stuff.
Yeah,
He's like
that happens to
totally
me a
on
little
the
bit,
Irish side.
but there's more gray in this beard than there is red.
I'm getting
But
there.
so in this article it goes, while it's not clear if the synthetic embryos could continue developing beyond their early stages, implanting them into a patient's womb would be illegal, and there is no near-term prospect of them being used for medical purposes. What would the medical I'm really thinking out loud here. Like, what would the medical purpose be? Because they're saying that they would want to see like research on like miscarriages and stuff. Which
I
is
mean, maybe for like blood transfusions, and I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there.
What's creepy to me is
But-
if they mentioned something like miscarriage and then trying to put this in after. That's like it's a weird
Yeah,
pet
it's
I don't
cemetery
know.
type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it really. I mean, whew.
I don't know. That's so it's just well because okay, I also brought that this up because why is it? I feel like we talk about things a few weeks and then like a few weeks ago and then like things start popping up because
Mhm.
remember we're talking about bag babies, the
Mhm.
babies in the bag. So like, what if this is like a step to aid in the creation of bag babies?
So what is
Oh,
what
yeah.
is a bag baby? Can you explain a little bit?
Yeah.
So apparently it's not real, but there was this thing going on about how they want to develop this system where right now what's happening is they can create a sheep in
Okay.
it's in like a bag. and it's like a synthetic uterus, I
Mhm.
guess, you know,
Pretty
and
much,
they
yeah.
they pretty much gestate sheep in a bag. Like,
So they replicate a
think
woman's
about the
or
Matrix and like hooked up to all these different things, like Neo. It's like that,
really.
and so there was an article talking about like how the potential could be that in the future that babies could be produced in like these
Like a pod.
thingies. Like,
Pretty
yeah,
much, yeah.
like pod people. Yeah. So this
my
could
God.
be like the start of that actually coming to fruition or being a possibility.
Right.
Now, are these pod people going to be eaten by machines for energy, like batteries?
Like
Are we
Matrix
going to be
style?
batteries, like Matrix
Could be.
style?
Hmm.
Or throwing out some superhero stuff here. If you're in the Superman, right? Man
right.
of Steel.
Did we all forget about Dolly the sheep?
Yeah.
She lived
There you
until
go,
she
Dolly
was
the sheep. There
in
you
her
go.
20s. She lived until she was in her 20s. All right. I went on a whole dive on Clonaid, which was the Rail Society people who said that back in the early 2000s that they cloned a human. They cloned actually
Mhm.
3 humans. It was 2 girls and a boy. And the doctor who was apparently the head of it is now some type of clinician or like some type of she's got a facility in Mexico where she does a ton of stem cell stuff, like not just research, but it's like kind of like longevity, like the human longevity stuff, like, oh, we're gonna put this into your back or into your skin to make you feel younger or be younger and blah blah blah.
So let me ask you this. So I don't know enough about the cloning, the idea of cloning or what goes into this, but were there any sort of defects with this Dolly the sheep? Or how many clones were created before it led to Dolly the sheep?
Right.
Well, that's a thing.
And what happened in
really
those stuff? Right.
You know, and the thing, it's like kind of like this it's this thing that we know is happening, but no one really talks about it because you can what was it? Barbara Streisand, I believe it was, cloned her dog.
Yeah,
For like
a lot.
$50,000.
Mhm.
Yes. Like a few years ago.
Yeah,
And like
she's
you can
had like
clone your
she's had
pets.
like 4 or 5 of them too.
Yeah. So like that's like it's a thing, but us normies, we don't know. We don't have the money to do it. Yes.
I'm proud to be a normie.
So yeah.
That means I have a
So
brain.
Mad Villain said Canada, I guess, has a cloning. You can Google it.
I wouldn't
All
be
right,
surprised.
we'll have to look at Well, and that's the part of even like the whole Epstein thing, like we were talking about earlier. Wasn't it like one of the things or theories was that he wanted to clone himself or something, and like that's why he was in friends with all these Harvard like scientists and stuff. And it was like one big thing that they had at his Bizarro Ranch.
I wouldn't be surprised. I actually didn't really hear if he wanted to, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. But I'm gonna do more of I'm looking more into cloning because the lady that I found, it was weird. I was like, when I was looking it up, I was like, I should be doing this live so people can see like how I found it.
I'll tell you who we don't need to clone is this fucking idiot. Karine Jean-Pierre, she's gonna go ahead and just blow off everything.
She's a fucking idiot.
She is.
Oh,
she's a
God, I love
idiot.
listening to her.
Yeah.
You ready? This is Karine. You ready? This is Karine.
Fucking
she's like
Blinky. Every time she's like, you say
believe
something to her and she doesn't know what the answer is, she just like starts blinking like crazy and looking
Oh,
around.
she's like, I can't really discuss this right now. You have to talk to Hunter Biden's lawyers.
Right.
They're lawyers. But the president's involved. What can you tell us about the president? President's involved. Yeah, but this is Hunter Biden's lawyers. Like, I can't stand her. I can't stand her. She's just a figure piece. That's all she is.
Also, the White House, the flag placement, the pride flag violating the U.S. flag code. Did anybody notice that or fail to notice that? Or was it a
She's like, yeah, we
intentional
noticed.
statement?
We don't
Just
care.
Explain what happened. with that.
So the administration was proud again to display
They were
the
proud.
pride flag. It was a historic event.
How is it historic?
It literally, there's nothing historic about it.
No, there's nothing new either. It's for her to say that, it's so dumb.
The White House. It's centered around around love and family, and I think that
Family.
Well, here's
How
my
about that?
take on this. Their argument is that they're fighting for rights,
Mhm.
right? They're fighting for rights to get married, which they can.
Mhm.
They're fighting for rights to be a family. They can.
Man.
They're fighting for rights to get jobs without being discriminated. Those laws already exist.
Right.
So what rights do you have that I don't have, or I have that you don't have?
It's seemingly the only right that they really want to try to have or gain is access to children, from what I've
Yeah.
been able to fucking see. And like any bills that keep getting put across is to protect children, and then they keep saying anti-trans bills. It's not anti-trans, it's you leave kids the fuck alone. That's pretty much it.
Right. It's crazy. Like, listen, I have a 3-year-old daughter. She runs around here
You
sometimes. She
muted,
dresses
Jackie. There you go.
up. Sorry. So I have a 3-year-old daughter and I have an 11-year-old son. My 3-year-old daughter runs around here and she pretends to be different characters and all that.
Mm-hmm.
If she says to me, Daddy, one day, Daddy, can I wear boys' clothes or whatever? It's probably just her figuring it out.
Yeah.
Right. Or just being creative. That's what kids are. They're creative.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean I'm going to go out tomorrow and change my kid's sex because at 3 they're putting on boys' clothes.
Right, exactly.
Or even flip it around. My son, 11 years old, he was in daycare years ago. And I guess they had like a chest full of different types of costumes. They would have like a costume day.
Right.
And he put on a skirt. Right? He was
Mhm.
probably 4 or 5 years old at the
Yeah.
time. Right?
Oh, if you'd have had the white liberal mom, she'd be like, "You're a girl now."
All my son talks about now is female, like, I'm like, dude, put it in your pants, dude.
Yeah.
Calm down. Calm down. You're 11. You're 11.
Right.
Calm down, bro.
You got
You
plenty
know,
of years, homie.
You got plenty of years. But that's the thing. Like a lot of these liberal parents, that has a lot to do with, I think, the generation,
Mm-hmm.
how these people were raised. They're so quick to appease their children, to make them feel, they don't have any
absolutely.
adversity
Be
in
their
their life.
friend. Hey, be
Yeah,
their
like
friend.
I'm not your friend. I'm your parent.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my job to make you the best person I can possibly make you.
Right. Exactly. Well, and that's the whole thing. Like being a parent, it's like, yeah, I might be buddy with you, but I'm actually gonna probably piss you off enough to where you're gonna fucking not like me for a few years, but you're gonna respect
Right.
me later. Because that's the point
Yeah.
of being
Right.
a parent.
Absolutely.
that's important.
But after
And,
this, I got something I got to show you guys too.
All right.
So
It's relevant.
we're not going to let anyone distract us from that. What was the meaning of the day? What was the meaning of having families here and to celebrate a community? I'm certainly not going to get into protocols from here, or I'll leave that to others. And so, we're proud of this
That face-
historic event
I
that
don't
we
care.
were able to put together
give two
here
flying
on the
fucks.
South Lawn for
Excuse
families.
Excuse me.
And so I'll leave it there.
Yeah, for families, and then you had a topless
Oh,
male to female go ahead just running around showing off fake boobs out there. Oh, they also said that now that person's never invited back, which okay, cool. Shouldn't
Yeah.
have been there doing that in the 1st
I'm actually,
place.
well, I will say I am surprised they actually did say anything.
Right. well, because the pressure
Yeah.
mounted so much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and it just that she always looks like she just hates her life. Like
Yeah,
she should
I would.
just quit. I know.
so I actually,
I'll be honest. As much as I don't like her, I kind of feel bad for her because, like, I'm like, sorry, girl, you got the shit end of the stick. I'm not gonna lie.
she did. It's funny. I did a video about this on my channel. So if anybody's watching, check it out. Yeah, it's just disgusting. Like the way, like if you watch Biden's whole speech,
hmm
it's just it's filled with bullshit. It's the same. It reminded me of the speech he gave to the HBCU commencement, the commencement speech he gave to the HBCU.
Yeah.
It's like everything's about rights, and it drives me insane because they have every right to do everything that we can do. The only
Yeah.
thing we're saying is leave my kid alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
If my kid wants to transition when he's 18, when he's an adult, okay,
Fine.
Right.
right? Do you. Leave my kid alone. My kid doesn't need to see pornographic material in
Right.
3rd, 4th, or 5th grade.
Right.
Right.
But then you go ahead and you have this topless transgender woman, man. I don't even know anymore. I get so damn confused
Yeah, I know.
but they're topless at the White House. But it wasn't just her or him.
Right.
It was a group of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they obviously hurt that person because of how it looked, right? It was clearly women's. They were with fake women breasts,
Mm-hmm.
but there were others. There were others that were topless too. Did they ban the others too?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, that they said that it wasn't just it just wasn't that person. It was anybody
Okay.
that I think that was like that.
Well,
so.
good. Yeah, they should. Yeah, because it should be all of them. I'm sorry, but that's just indecency.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. Like we actually have laws about that. Like can't do that.
And there were kids at that event, and I'm sure they've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's more than
But-
just people's rights. It's you're grooming children, like they're trying to make
Yeah.
it socially acceptable.
Right. Exactly.
Well, so I have a video of this California senator
All right.
who has basically had it. He's like, you know what? If you're a parent and you love your children, you should leave California. So I want to show you.
Oh, I
this
think I
video
saw part of
'cause-
this. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate this. I can't do that. Okay. Can you hear it? Let's see. Can we hear it?
I'm now in
Yep.
year 11
There you go.
in the legislature, and all the time we're proposing policies to protect children. After 11 years, I've come to a conclusion that we need to start protecting parents. That's just not happening. I've been here and witnessed a full frontal assault on charter schools, taking away parents' choice and how their children are going to be educated, to the detriment, particularly of children of color. In recent years, we have put government bureaucrats between parents, children, and doctors when it comes to medical care. And now we have this where if a parent does not support the ideology of the government, they're going to be taken away from the home. Now, I agree with both Senator Wiener and Senator Laird that today it only involves divorce proceedings. And frankly, a judge can already factor this in. But I can assure you it's not going to end with divorce proceedings. In the past, when we've had these discussions and I've seen parental rights atrophied, I've encouraged people to keep fighting. I've changed my mind on that. If you love your children, you need to flee California. You need to flee.
It's sad to say that, but it's true.
The Handmaid's Tale, California is becoming the new Gilead. And it just breaks my heart. I'm born and raised in this state. I love this state. I'm not going to stay in this state because it's just too oppressive. And I believe in freedom. And so I'm going to move to America when I leave the legislature.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
glad
they-
somebody said it.
Like
What's that new
crazy.
bill that they're passing there too? That House bill, I think it's 957, the one that we were talking about yesterday, where
mhm.
if you're a parent, you don't affirm your kid's idea of what their gender is. Basically, as far as I know, whatever fucking age they are, as long as they can talk, they'll consider you abusive and possibly take your kids from you. That's fucking great. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. No, I
Leave
mean,
California.
Jack, if you're listening, that's our other co-host on Two Jacks One Scotch. Get the fuck out of
Mhm.
California already, homie.
get out of California.
Nat one. Get the fuck out of Cali.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
well, yeah, no, in that California, because I was talking about this yesterday, real quick quickly before we
Yeah.
were watching Trump's speech in New Jersey, is that there's actually other bills that were passed years ago that kind of like help with this weird process of getting these children out of parents' homes to
Mhm.
transition them.
Mhm.
So they have this one. There's another bill that states that if a child goes to like a counselor or something, it could even be the guidance counselor at school, and like has a complaint that their parents aren't affirming, their identity or whatever, that the school can actually take that child from the home, like make sure that child doesn't go back to that home that day and send them to a foster care facility.
That's fucked
And
up.
that foster care, and then another bill says that children who are in foster care facilities who want to transition can on the taxpayer dime. So it's like this weird, like,
Oh wow.
But if
yeah.
you listen to somebody who is an advocate for child trans rights, they'll tell
Yeah.
you they're not allowed to transition before they're 18,
Yeah, I know. They
which is
always
a
say
load
that
of shit because it happens.
Mm-hmm. They always
Mhm.
do say there's no one doing that, but
Right.
for you to
Yeah,
say
there is.
no
Why
one,
does it
you're
need to
lying
be
to
a thing?
yourself. Yeah, for you to say no one, you're lying to yourself more than you're lying to other people. To be
Right.
honest, because we all fucking know it's true. So
Right. So why are there laws that
oh yeah,
say
that's
we
right.
can
Yeah,
do something?
White House put something out yesterday saying your kids or their kid, blah blah. Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
trying. This is it's communism, but it's we have neo-communism now because they're not going more after because really communism, socialism, that's more of a economy type thing. But let's just go through this real quick. They're trying to do that in the same sense of the Hitler Youth.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they're
Absolutely.
trying to do. A commune.
Mhm.
These kids are not just your kids, they're our kids. No, fuck you.
Right.
That's my kid. Get the fuck out of here.
And they're using the kids to snitch on adults,
Yes,
on their parents.
exactly.
Yeah, like I
And-
don't
and-
send my kids to school. I don't send my kids to public school
Good.
for that very reason. I mean, I don't care if we're in Florida or not.
Right.
I don't
Right.
send them to public school for that very reason.
Yeah.
Like they go to a Christian school because they need to be brought up with Christian values.
There you go.
Like
Yeah.
you can't. I just refuse to do it because you never know what's going to happen down the road. I mean, God forbid, government changes. Now
Mhm.
it's one way. It could be a different way down the road.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it's just you have to. These kids need to learn how to think on their own. They also need to learn that your pronouns they're not yours, right?
Right.
You're a boy or a girl, right?
Right.
You're born a boy, you're
Right.
born a girl.
Right.
That's it. You can't make believe and pretend, hey, today I'm going to be a girl. Tomorrow I'm going to be a boy. Today I'm going to be a cat. Tomorrow I'm going to be
Yeah.
a dog. Like, no, that's not how the real world works.
Yeah, that's not how the world works.
Yeah.
And
But
we don't need
there
people
were some
enabling them.
kids in Burlington. I want to say it's Burlington, Vermont.
Co-factory.
No. No, actually, yeah. No. Basically these kids, there was a middle school and they told they had a pride day or whatever, and they told
Oh,
the kids
yeah.
to wear rainbow stuff
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever, and the kids revolted and were wearing red, white, and blue
Yeah.
or black.
He's in
And
Mass,
they're like,
Burlington, Massachusetts.
Yeah. I want to
Yeah,
go high
okay.
five all of those kids.
Yep.
yeah, and like the parents were
it's- and
really upset.
And that's
And
the
they're
whole
like,
thing
they
is
were
like
throwing stickers on the ground.
well, and here's the whole thing. It's like they're not hating on that community. They're
No.
tired of it. They're just tired of
Yeah.
it being pushed like you have to do this. How
Right.
about
Right.
no? Guess what freedom starts with? No. The word no.
Yeah.
That's how you fucking get free. By saying no, fuck you, I'm not gonna do this.
Well, and also some of the kids were saying my pronouns are USA.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was like, that's
and that pisses off the leftist.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So God forbid you wear American flag and say USA. Holy,
God forbid you
holy
be-
moly.
You better not love America. God damn it.
You ever see Team America World Police?
Oh hell yes.
Absolutely.
Love that. America. Yeah.
That was the first movie my husband and I watched when we first started dating.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
So it
that's
is
a
our-
good.
It
That's
is
a great one. That's
So
a great
it's always
one.
referenced in everything we do.
Yep.
So funny. But
Very nice.
with that,
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap it up. So thank you so much, Bob, for being with us today.
course.
Thank you all who are watching and
Yeah.
being patient with us while we had our technicalities going on.
Exactly. I don't know what happened with the cutout, but we came back in. I think it's still the same stream on Rumble, which is kind of cool. I don't know. YouTube could be two different ones, whatever. But yeah. Go ahead, plug yourself again. Tell people where you're at, where to follow you, and watch stuff.
Thanks, guys. I can be followed on YouTube. I'm at Bob Bradford. And again, like I said, we do a lot of conservative reactionary videos. Please come join us, join our community. I do frequent community posts to try to keep the audience engaged. So yeah, check us out at Bob Bradford on YouTube.
Right on.
Awesome. And you
Thank
can
you.
find me on Twitter at Suburban Mama 1. Again, at Suburban Mama, MOMMA, and the number 1 on Twitter. Tomorrow, you can also find me and Biz on the Two Jacks, One Scotch podcast with our friend Jack. And that starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm always like, I'm going to say specific. I know it's going to happen.
5 p.m. specific.
Yep. And then also on Sundays, you can find me and Davey on the Weekend Hangover every Sunday talking. We'll go a rundown just real quickly of the top headlines of the week, and then we talk about trash TV the rest of the time. And we're going to be talking about the documentary about Gwen Shamblin and her cult this week.
Ooh.
And I'll probably give you guys some insight on Real Housewives shit because I love it all. Anyway.
Shit's going down.
Nice.
Yes.
On the Real Housewives.
Right.
Oh, it's my fun season.
You're fired up,
Love
I can
it.
tell.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
Yeah. All right.
ahead,
Catch me
Scott.
at Scott_Craiglow on TikTok and Instagram, Business Party Podcast on Instagram. We also have Dive Bar News on Instagram and also TikTok if you want to go catch us there. Just all sorts of fucking shit that we post and try to have fun. But beyond that, yeah, catch us this coming up Tuesday and Wednesday next week again. Davey will be back. Same bat time, same bat channel. Again, remember, fuck the moon. We're going to Uranus.
Going to Uranus.
Woo! Hope you guys have a good ass night. We will see you next week. Later. Love y'all.
Thanks.